All right, in this video, Craig is going to tell us the one player that we just have to draft. Before we get to that, though, want to remind you we're going live for the draft. So 8 p.m. Eastern, join us live on YouTube. We're going live streaming. We're going to be hanging out, answering your questions, talking about who we think is going to be drafted next. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. So
It's
with
going to be
that,
fun. I'm
oh, man,
excited.
we're going
I'm
to
excited.
eat.
Even if only 6 people show up, I'm excited. It'll be
Oh,
more.
man, we're going to eat chicken sandwiches,
Oh,
wings. Hope you like wings.
I love wings.
And
Thank you.
just wash that down with just some general pop and
Yeah,
LaCroix.
naturally.
I mean, it can't be, we'll throw in
Leave
some beers.
feeling terrible is the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. So,
Yeah.
all right, Craig, the player that just jumps out to you, it's like, go get this guy. Let's get him. Who is it?
All right, you ready for it?
Drum
Boom.
roll.
Christian Watson, wide receiver in North Dakota State. He's been climbing boards. If he's available at 32, you draft him.
Mm-hmm.
You draft him. Look at this score. Like, look at this score. Like, this is absolutely insane to me. It is ranked 5 out of 2,557 wide receivers from 1987 to 2022. You can see on here he's 6'4", 4'3", 640, 2.55 20, 10 split is a 1.5, almost a 40-inch vertical, an 11-foot broad jump. Like, are you kidding me with this? Like, this dude, he weighs 210. Like, it's fantastic. It is fantastic. So I don't know. You tell me what you think about Christian Watson, and then I'm going to tell you exactly why I think he's the guy we need to draft, because I'm going to go a little bit deeper with it.
Well, we need blue chip players. I mean, right, just guys that jump at you. And we've been drafting through the Patricia era, Bob Quinn, we drafted safe. That was their whole thing. Like, and the part of me would like that. But now it's like that, come on. Like, this is the type of players we need, and we need to make a splash, and we need to, pops off the page. I mean, what you just read there is like, let's go. Like, that's like stuff that we haven't seen since
athletic score for a wide receiver in history.
Yeah. And that's like, we haven't seen that since like Kelvin Johnson type stuff. I'm not saying he's at that level, but I'm saying you don't just pass on a guy. It's like, well, he's in smaller school. It's like, man, this is big. This is a big splash player.
It's a big splash player. And you want to know who he has a RAS score that's very similar to?
Randy Moss.
No. DJ Chark.
Oh.
So you have DJ Chark, who at the time in 2018 was the 15th ranked RAS score of all time. So he has similar height. He's a little similar speed. I mean, the splits are insanely similar. Like, I was absolutely shocked at his 40 time and how close they were. It's just that Christian Watson's doing it at an inch taller and 10 pounds heavier. So, like, when you look at it, it's like, okay, this is that kind of not big body, but tall, lanky receiver, kind of in the Josh Reynolds. Like, this is the kind of guy that Jared Goff likes to throw to. But here's the reason, and I'm not saying this because I'm talking like, oh, DJ Chark's the answer. I'm saying this because I think they love DJ Chark's athletic profile, and he might be too affordable to be the answer if he plays well. And I would love us to draft a guy that can either be, one, better than Chark, or two, take his place if Chark is too expensive or keeps getting hurt. Like, you're drafting your wide receiver of the future, and you might be able to get him at 32, 34. Also, he doesn't have to play right away because you have Chark, you have Reynolds, you have St. Brown. So you can give him time to adjust to the speed, the pace, the physicality of the NFL game. Like, I just think at first when people brought this guy up, I was like, no. Small school. I don't know how I feel about it. His numbers are terrible. And then you listen to him interview, and he's just like, no. People flat out ask him, you ever think about transferring to a school that passed more? Why would I think about doing that? Like it wasn't the standard answer of, no, I'm going to, coach calls the plays, blah, blah, blah. No. It's, why would I think about doing that? I came to college to win national championships. That's why I came here. And I'm not going anywhere. And it's just like, yeah, he gets it. Like, this is a guy who loves football. He wants to win. it's a Dan Campbell dude. So if
Yeah.
we can get him and develop him like all day.
Because doesn't it feel like Chark is going to do one or the other? He's going to be hurt. It's just
Or is it
not
going to
going
be
to
good?
get going, or he's going to be like, man, this guy is doing what we thought he would when he came into the league,
Yeah.
and then it's going to be a decision time, right? Do we re-sign him? You know, he wants more. He's going to take it. So
Yeah.
you've got this player that's like right there, man, and
I'd
yeah,
be really surprised if Chark doesn't get hurt, but doesn't get 1,000 yards. Like it's one of those things where if he stays healthy, he's 1,200 yard receiver, and then you got to pay him, right? Because he's proven that he can
yeah,
stay healthy, but you have the insurance policy with Christian Watson. And maybe you're saying, you know what, we actually don't have to pay you. Or can you imagine if Chark ends up, we pay him, you have Watson on the other side and St. Brown in the middle?
there it is.
Like all of a
Yeah,
sudden you're like, that is a ridiculous
you're
three
you
wide
make a
receivers.
you make a good point. It's almost like we should keep an eye on Reynolds, because Reynolds to me feels more like the, hey, thanks, man. You're just kind of helping us out while we till we find our
The
real wide
safety net
receivers.
for
Yeah.
Goff. Yeah.
Yeah. So Reynolds, see ya. Now you got those guys, because if you look at our offense, we don't need an offensive lineman. We don't need running backs.
Nope.
If there's one thing on offense we would take, it is a wide receiver. So that he fits what we would take, because I think we all are just like, we want to see Goff with weapons. We want to see him with a full, because it's like I think deep down we all think this guy can play, but
Yeah,
he
I think
needs help.
so.
He needs
Yeah.
help, and if we can give it to him and then he does play, I mean, it's like we couldn't evaluate him last year, and that really was frustrating those first 10 games. But man, if he had some weapons, I think he can play, man. I really do. I hope he
And
can.
I hope he can. And I would like to see him. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good wide receivers in this draft. I would love to see a Lions offense again with an elite wide receiver. And I'm not saying Christian Watson just is. I'm saying he has the athletic profile to
Yep.
be elite. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's elite. I'm not saying he's a plug and play day one guy. In fact, if we draft him, I would expect Reynolds to get the bulk of the reps for the first 8 weeks of the season.
Yep.
Like I think Watson would just take some time to come along. I mean, it would be a slow go of it, and then when he came, oh my goodness, he would be full throttle. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I really do think it should, but it's going to take a minute. But we have a wide receiver room that we have the luxury of being able to do that. But that's a position in the NFL where you would like to have an elite player at that position.
That's
You would.
exactly right. That is what Jamar Chase proved last year, where, yeah, man, if I can, they're different players, but I'm just saying from a wide receiver perspective, that's a position,
Yeah.
the one main position on offense or on the football field where it's like, I can change the whole course of this game by taking a slant 80 yards. And that
Yeah.
is, or it's like,
Behind quarterback, it's huge.
it's you're second and 12 and you catch it over the top for 15. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, right? Yes, you'd love to like methodically work the ball down every possession, but it's like, no, you got to hit those splash plays, and you need the outside threats to do it.
What and you look at the playoffs and you look at like the last 6 to 8 teams remaining. Which team did not have an elite wide receiver? Like that's one of those things where I'm looking at it like the Bucks they lost their elite receiver. They
Mhm.
lost Godwin, and then Evans was, in and out, and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, and they were done. Like
It,
they were done.
you're
And
right.
so it's one of those things where you're like, all right, I kind of see what's going on here. You had Tyreek Hill with the Chiefs, you had Chase with the Bengals,
Cooper Cup.
you had all these guys that were getting it done. Debo Samuel with the 49ers, even
Oh,
though he didn't have an elite quarterback. Like that's what allowed the 49ers to get there. So I think it's worth a swing, even if it's a swing and miss at 32 or 34. If he's available, draft him. Just do it.
yeah, and that's going to be fun to watch, because we are going to have those 2 picks. We've been talking about that. That's really the pivotal
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
We
we
believe
really like those 2 picks.
we do, and so we can either take him and then or wait, But anyway, it's going to be it's going to be a lot of action there at 32 and 34. So again, make sure you join us for the draft live 8 p.m. We're going live for the whole first round, and hope you can join us. So make sure you subscribe as well. Let us know in the
Do it.
comments if you think we should get this guy, or if there's somebody else that you just like, man, just go get this guy. He is going to be great. And we will see all of you on the next one.
See you.
See ya.